Well, good morning, everybody. Well, I know that those of you who know me are already thinking, every time that politician gets up here, he asks us for money. And you'd be right. Well, my presence this morning is a confirmation that the most dangerous part of the week is standing around innocently at coffee hour when the rector catches your eye and he's looking for a volunteer. So, talk about weeping and gnashing of teeth. Right? An alternative view of my presence, I would say Tom and Barbara were at a meeting and where they decided who was going to be giving the sermon, and I was not invited to that meeting. Well, anyways, St. Andrews has a lot of good things going for it. We're blessed to have a vibrant congregation with a good mix of people from all walks of life and from all stages of life. You can always tell whether a church has a future by looking to see how many kids are around. And we're almost overrun with kids, and we do a lot to help them learn about Jesus and our salvation. You ever stop to think about how many ways we reach out to children and young adults here at St. Andrews? We have a preschool during the week, Sunday school, godly play, journey to adulthood, work camp, and more. It's truly fantastic. Serving the community outside our parish walls has always been a priority here at St. Andrews. We pitch in to feed the homeless, participate in hypothermia prevention efforts, support food banks and mission work, and have a good many other things that we do. We have an astounding number of volunteer opportunities on offer. But to make these things work, we need all of you. We need each other. Music is another joy we have here at St. Andrews. We have an adult choir, kid choir. Once a month on Saturdays, we have contemporary music, FOMA concerts, instrumental accompanists, and more. These are just a few of the many things we do here at St. Andrews. Each of them has three things in common. They take a lot of work, they require a lot of volunteer effort, and, wait for it, because this is a stewardship sermon, they require money. Speaking of St. Andrews, let's talk about the parish buildings for just a moment. This year we've had an extraordinary amount of physical plant maintenance. Our facilities are showing their age. This may sound mundane in comparison to Christian formation, community outreach, and music, but all our activities start from here. It's as if these walls make up a safe harbor, our spiritual home from which our ministries go out into the world and to which we return week by week to be reprovisioned and renewed for our work as Christians. Let me pause for a brief shout out for Paul Foley, who's standing right outside the sanctuary. He's our junior warden, and he's been the shepherd of all the work that's been underway this year. He's been a busy man addressing the roof replacement, drainage in the preschool bathrooms, planning with a committee for the enhancement of the kitchen, and finishing up a top-to-bottom review of all the campus maintenance needs that are going to consume our attention and require our care for the next few years. I wish I could stand here and tell you this morning that all of your time and talent are enough to keep the doors open, to enrich our lives together, and to help our neighbors. They're critical, they're irreplaceable, but they're not sufficient. The world we live in requires our financial support. St. Andrews is totally dependent on the money we give to the parish and the earnings we receive from our endowment. There are no other streams of income. What we give determines what we can do on Sunday mornings, on Saturday evenings, through the week, inside our parish, and for our neighbors. Our budget helps visibly demonstrate what we value as a congregation. each of us will be receiving a stewardship letter and a pledge card soon. It may have already shown up in your mailbox. This card, this humble little piece of paper, is the basic building block of our annual parish budget. It lets the rector and the vestry know with a pretty good degree of certainty how much the congregation is going to give to the parish in the coming year. To be sure, the collection plate adds some funds every week, but the budget can only be based on our planned giving. If we don't know what you think you can give, we can't budget for it. That bears repeating. If the vestry doesn't know what you think you can give, we can't budget for it. The vestry is very conservative in this regard, and appropriately so. Now, I started by talking about the wonderful blessings we've been given and the privilege we have of sharing God's good news through good works for our neighbors. These things are important to me, and I know they're important to you. For them to continue, we all have to dedicate ourselves to carrying our own share of the burden. As we learned in this morning's Old Testament reading, the Israelites had to keep learning one lesson over and over again. They had to trust God, as do we. He gave abundantly to them, as he does to us. Next Sunday, we'll gather in all the pledge cards as part of our service. I hope you'll pray about what you can do, what you intend to do during the week. Fill out the card and bring it with you next week. We're all in this together. Thank you.